This is Alden Simpson with Greenville Home Buyers. I just got done looking at this house in Spartanburg, Converse Heights area, and want to take a minute. This seller is like many that we work with. They unfortunately had a family member pass away. The house is in probate, and a lot of people don't know what the probate process is like if you hadn't had to go into the courts and deal with this after a loved one has passed. It was probably a mystery to you, so I figured I'd just share a little bit about how probate works and kind of what the basic steps are of it. So this seller called us. Their house was in probate. Their person, family member that had passed away, did not have a will, so the probate was really in charge of assigning the house to the next of kin, and letting them sell the house in probate if they wanted, or wait till the probate court is closed, which can take 7 to 12 months, just depending. So in this case, there were no creditors to the estate, but typical probate process works such that person passes away. If they have any outstanding bills, utility bills, medical bills, loans on the house, etc., judgments maybe, liens, whatever it may be, the probate process is meant to settle those out of the assets that the person had when they passed. So probate gets opened. Usually a member of the family becomes the personal representative. You have to get appointed as the personal representative for the estate. Estate is another word for probate of your deceased family member, and then you're kind of in charge of making the filings with the court and handling the issues of the house and the creditors, etc. So if you have a house that you're set to inherit, and just based on you're maybe the only son of your parent, and there's some outstanding bills, maybe some medical bills, ambulance ride, etc., the probate court wants to make sure those bills get paid. So you can either pay them out of maybe the person who passed had some money in their checking account and it covers it. If not, then the next thing they go to is the house. So they're going to want the person to sell the house while the probate is still open in order to pay off the creditors. So that's one way it can work. The judge would order the sale of the house, and then you can sell it, and then it goes to pay off the creditors. If you want to sell the house before probate's done, you can also petition the court to sell the house and get permission to sell it. Now, if there's still a time frame before probate's going to close, and you sell the house after 4 months of probate being open and it doesn't close till 8 months, the court might require the funds be held in escrow at an attorney's office until the probate's closed. So that just means that you would get, let's say you sold your house for $100,000, you would get the $100,000, but you put in an escrow account, and it wouldn't get dispersed to you until the probate's closed. Maybe if you sold it 4 months into probate, maybe 4 to 6 months later, you would get the funds from the house once the probate has determined that there are no creditors that have outstanding debts that need to be paid. So, but that's one way to not have to maintain the house, mow the grass, fix the roof. Maybe there's leaks or something that's just causing the house to be damaged as it sits, and if you don't want to let it sit there, that's the way you can sell it and not have to be in charge of maintaining it while probate's going on for could be over a year sometimes. So that's one scenario. Another scenario, if the person that passed away has a will, then generally probate is opened, you present that will to the court, and the house is left to whoever it was willed to, and it really shortens the probate process a lot, assuming there's no creditors outstanding. So that's a simpler way. If there's a will, definitely is helpful. I would encourage anybody that has aunts, uncles, parents that are getting older in age, to get their affairs together and make everything much smoother on down the road for all the family members. So the final step of probate is typically called a deed of distribution. When the probate is over, all the creditors have been paid or no one has come forward, then the deed of distribution gets issued, and that passes ownership of the house to whoever is going to inherit. It could be one son or daughter, might be multiple siblings, might be who knows. I've seen deeds with 8, 10 people on them before. It just depends how the will was written. And if there's no will, then the court really just uses kind of a standard rule of, okay, the wife is first. So like, if I passed away and my wife was still living, the house goes to the wife automatically. It actually goes outside of probate. So that has, that goes around the probate process. The other solution is if there's only one parent left and they pass away, the house is going to go to the kids. If one of the kids is no longer alive, then the children, the descendants of that person, get a portion of the house. So just for example, if you had 3 kids and you passed away, and maybe one of your kids had unfortunately passed away before you, then the kids of the person that had passed away are going to own a percentage of the house, and then the 2 other kids you had that are still living are going to own part of the house. I mean, it ends up being 5, 6 people on the deed, and maybe 20% to one, 20% to the other, 40% to one, etc. Just means y'all have to get an agreement about what you're going to do and whether you're ready to sell the house, what's the price you're happy with, and who's going to handle the affairs of the estate. Probably, that would be the personal representative. You got to file that with the courts, as I said before, and get all that worked out. So when it comes time to sell the house, everybody's ready to go to the attorney's office and get the closing done and get their percentage of the proceeds from the sale. So there's much more to probate that I could talk about. That's the basics of how it works. Of course, if you have any questions about the probate process, feel free to reach out to us. There's a contact us page on the website here, greenvillehomebuyers.com, or you can comment on this video if it's on YouTube or Facebook, and we'd be happy to help. If you have a house you'd like to sell and want an offer on it, of course we'd be happy to make you an offer on your property as well. We do business in Charlotte a little bit. We do Rock Hill, we do Gaston County, North Carolina, Gastonia, Bessemer City area. Our main focus is the upstate of South Carolina though, so we work in Greenville, Spartanburg, Anderson, Pickens, and Oconee counties. So any house in those areas, and even Columbia, South Carolina, we'd be glad to help you with and answer any questions you can. If you decide that our offer is a good fit for you, great. If not, no big deal. We're just glad to help, and hope this video was informative and answered any questions you may have. Thank you.